Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Social Marketing with Eric. I'm your host, Eric. Thanks for joining us along today as we uncover really how to create a marketing plan for your social media existence. So that's always a tough question, right? What do I put on social media? What do I write? What do I post? How do I engage with people? The question businesses used to ask back in the day, several years ago, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, was, why do I need to be on social media? What's the point? I don't see this going anywhere. Well, fast forward, and now businesses are starting to ask themselves, how do I get on social media? How do I get business from social media? How do I get more money out of social media? Really, that's the question that businesses are asking, because there's 2 billion people with a B, people on Facebook alone, yet alone all the other platforms out there. So what are you doing as a business owner to get your presence on social media? What are you saying? How do you engage with your clients? That's what we're going to get into today. So tip number one, audit your current situation on Facebook. Let me put it another way. Audit your current social media presence, right? So what are you doing currently? How often do you post? Who's engaging with you? Who are your followers? Kind of take a snapshot of where you are right now and understand what's going on with your business profile. And the second part of that is really making sure that you've optimized your account the best you can. So make sure your profiles are filled out completely across the board. I'm talking about every social media platform out there. Even if you don't use them, just have a presence on there in case somebody searches for you, they know that you're there. The second part of that is make sure you have good engaging photos. Make sure that everything is dialed in and done accurately. There's a lot of guides out there to what to put in there and how to write it and the correct sizing of pictures that you can put on there, but just make sure that you have stuff on there. The worst thing to do is have a social media presence and nobody knows what you look like or nobody knows what your brand stands for. So that's tip number one, really understand that. Tip number two is understanding who your ideal client is. So if you're selling homes, right? Your ideal client is not people who want to buy and sell homes. That's way too generic. You got to go deeper. So the ideal client you're looking for is probably between 30 and 50 years old. They earn $75,000. I'm just giving hypothetical scenarios here. They live in a certain zip code or maybe a certain part of the county or a certain city. They have specific interests. They're interested in outdoors. They're interested in golfing. They're interested in the coast. They're interested in camping. Whatever that may be, you got to understand who that ideal audience is for you so that you know how to speak to them. We're going to talk about that in a second with content. But just understanding who your ideal client is so that you know how to create a niche piece of content for them that speaks to them. Maybe you have multiple ideal clients, right? Maybe there's the younger generation of home buyers. Maybe there's the older generation of sellers who are downsizing, doing something with their home. But you got to understand both those markets and how to speak to them. So tip number three is understanding really what your social media mission statement is. Now you may think, I've already done a mission statement for my business. How does that apply to my social media plan? Well, the way it applies is that you have to understand, what's my purpose of being on social media? Am I trying to provide value? Am I trying to give content to my audience? Am I trying to give them market updates and let them know where the market's going, either up or down, depending on when you watch this video? If I'm working with investors, they need to know when's the right time to get out of the market before it comes crashing down again. You got to understand what's the point of you being on social media as a business, and what's the message that you're going to put out there so that people want to engage with you, follow you, like and hit the like button on all your posts and watch more content. That's really the point of this exercise. Tip number four is to identify your KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators. I've used that term a lot around here. Not a whole lot of people understand what that means, but it basically just means know your numbers. What are you going to track? How many clicks am I getting a month? How many video views in minutes am I getting per month? Where are my visitors going? Are they going directly to my website? Are they going to somebody else's website after they watch my content? What are they doing? How are they going there? Where are they coming from? If I get a lot of traffic to my website, do they come from Facebook? Do they come from YouTube? Do they come from somebody else's website? You got to understand these things and know how to track them. If most of your visitors came from somewhere else a few months ago and now they're coming from your social media efforts, that's a great sign. Go deeper on social media to take advantage of this new traffic that you're working with and try to re-engage with them, right? So that's the point, is just knowing your numbers and where they came from and where they're going. Tip number five is creating engaging content. So basically, now that you've created your audience, you know what they're looking for, you know what they want to hear, you got to create content they actually want to watch, read, engage, and follow along with. Most people jump straight to step number five and just go right into content creation. They're sharing photos, they're sharing videos, they're sharing stats and information, but they don't know who they're talking to. So don't put the content out there hoping that your audience comes. know who your audience is and how you're going to engage with them. So if I'm speaking to 30-year-old golfers who live on a golf course, I'm going to talk to them about golfing, right? Like what's hot, what's going on, here's some discounts, here's tournaments that are coming to town, things like that. I'm not going to talk to them about car shows and things like that. I want to talk to them about what they want to know about. If I'm speaking to home buyers, I want to tell them where interest rates are, where the market's going, how it's going. Just know your audience and what content you need to put in front of them. And back to what you put in front of them. It's going to be images, it's going to be videos, it's going to be books that you recommend reading. It's content that they want to engage with, share with their followers to help give you more reach, and just keep coming back for more because they know that you're the source of knowledge that they're looking for. Step number 6 is using a management tool, something like Hootsuite. Hootsuite's a great one. It's pretty broad and well known. There's a whole bunch that you can get deep into, but it's really a tool that's going to allow you to post your content during the times that are most valuable to you. So let's say you realize most of my audience is online Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Well, I don't want it to be online Thursday at 8 o'clock, posting on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and trying to make sure I've got it all covered. I want to set all this up so that when Thursday comes, I look at my watch and say, it's Thursday, all my stuff's taken care of. I can just sit back and relax. So find a program that works for you. Facebook's actually got a couple native ones that work in their platform themselves, but you can even get as deep as to working with your CRM so that you can track the results from your CRM, know where these leads are going, know who's clicking on them, all those great tools. So find something that works for you. I would recommend definitely checking out Hootsuite and starting from there because there's a lot that can go deeper from there and really understanding the tools and benefits of working with it. Okay, step number 7 is track, analyze, and optimize. So this isn't a set it and forget it type of situation. You don't put something out there and hope that you don't ever have to touch your social media account again. You can't schedule out the post for the next year and hope that it's going to work. You need to try it out. Post something for the next week or two, see what's big, see what people like, see what's engaging. Do people want to know about more restaurants? Are they interested in the community events? Find what your audience loves and go deeper on that subject. I read somewhere once that you can repurpose an article or a post 7 or 8 times before it's finally worked its way out. So maybe you create a video about a new restaurant that's in your area and tons of people watch it, they engage with it. Now maybe you share a testimony from somebody who's been there and why they like going to that place. Maybe you offer a promotional coupon. If they come in and mention my name, they get a discount because I'm working with the restaurant, helping them get more business. So just figure out what it is that you're going to do to engage with your audience and then optimize it, right? So make sure that it gets out there. Maybe you actually have to spend a couple dollars on an ad to get your content out there so that people start seeing with it, engaging it, and liking and trusting it, and liking and trusting you. So those are my 7 tips. Just remember that you can go super deep with this stuff. This is kind of high level stuff, but create a plan, make it work for you. And I know that social media will bring you more business as you implement some of these strategies into your arsenal. There's a ton that you can do with it. So my name is Erik. Thanks for following along as we cover social media tips for you each week and how to get more business for your business. I'll see you next week. Thanks.